Watch him throw the ball, we gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through 4th and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Die.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Trap or Die Podcast. I'm your host of the Trap or Die Podcast, Mual, and with the good man Dre, back from the dungeons of Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
No, Charles County.
Oh, Charles County. Damn. Okay, yeah. I'm tripping. I'm over here thinking. Either way, courthouses are cold. They still pretty cold in them things. So, okay, yeah, Charles County, Charles County Courthouse, wherever that's at. AJ's on the way. Let's get the administrative items while we're waiting. Appreciate everybody who's tapping in live. I see you, Hulk. One of the trappers, man. Monty, I see you, big dog. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on the YouTube side. Hey, bro, we almost there to the 3K, man. We almost there, bro. We on our last leg. We're almost on our last leg. We got like quarter of a mile to go. But we almost there, man. Almost at 3K subscribers. And I can't wait to keep. I'm holding this secret in. I'll just keep it pushing, bro. I'm worried about that later. Anyway, hit that like button, that subscribe button, audio side, man. Make sure you hit that follow button. Hit us with a rating review if you haven't done so already. We definitely appreciate that. It's free to do so, and it's a simple way to show your support in that fashion. Let me check something right quick. Hold up.
What you about to put a parlay in real quick?
No, I actually did put a parlay in. I got a couple Jones going, like some small bets. I had to massively downgrade my unit sizes. Because I went crazy when I came up those last few weeks. So now that they didn't got their money back, if you get what I'm saying. Yep. Put that unit size back to the smallest of smallest. But yeah, I got a little parlay in, man. Let me see. Oh, AJ, I think is good. So let's bring this in. Okay, but Dre, how you feeling, dog? How's everything going?
Hey, I'm good. Like, as you said, I'm out of the dungeons of the courthouse playing the juror, So, look, I finally get to enjoy some.
What's
NBA
that joke called?
basketball.
The lead juror, the one I got to make the announcement. You was the.
No, they call me the foreman. I was the foreman.
Foreman, yeah, you was the foreman.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, unfortunately, man, I was the foreman for the trial. But hey, it's over. I get to enjoy my little Wizards tonight. We tanking, but hey, we on the rise. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Commanders, and we ain't quite there with the Commanders yet. Get to enjoy some NBA, get to enjoy some NFL, maybe hit a parlay or two tonight. Who knows?
Who knows,
Dre,
man?
Dre was in the court like Martin and Cole in that one episode.
Hey, AJ, the funny thing was I literally was thinking about that episode the whole time, especially when we were doing like our deliberations. Like, I'm like, God damn, I hope we don't be here all day and all night like they was when Martin and them on that one episode.
Oh, man. And then you said y'all had to come back the next day. Like y'all was supposed to be done.
Yeah. It was supposed to end yesterday, but it ended so late yesterday that no one wanted to do the decision making last night. And we would have been there all night last night.
Did they feed y'all, bro?
We came in. Hell no. They just gave us a little break.
And then you got that $13 check on the way.
Well, they say they're paying us $30 a day. So I should be getting a little $90 check in the mail.
Put that straight into your FanDuel account.
That's what I'm
doing. Okay. AJ, what's going on with you, player? Oh, you must be on the road.
Not much. No, I'm good. Just ripping and running, trying to get settled so I can get on camera with you boys.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and tap into the show, man. And get this whole thing started. Let's kick the show off with our something that we're introducing, by the way, and shout out to the good man, Doug, McKinney, who helped me generate, some things. But let's kick this thing off with our burning questions, our 3 burning questions from each of us. And this is just something that we're asking as we head into the upcoming opponent or the upcoming matchup with the opponent. So I'll kick mine off with my burning question. I think it's the elephant in the room. Obviously, as we know at this point, Jaden Daniels is a DNP for the for the days in which the injury report has been recorded. And my burning question has to transition to how much of a chance do you give Washington with Marcus Mariota against the Chicago Bears? Obviously, as of right now, we know that they are an underdog. And if I look online right now, they are actually a 3-point home dog against the Chicago Bears. So that's my question. How much of a chance do you give Washington against the Chicago Bears?
Well, it's interesting because before Mariota, before the Jaden Daniels news, we were a 1-point favorite. And then once the Jaden Daniels injury happened, became 3-point underdogs. But for me, I'm struggling with this one because I know Marcus Mariota, he came in and he did a pretty good job against the Panthers. I mean, he kind of exceeded a lot of people's expectations for what he did in the game. But the burning thing for me about Mariota going into this game is I don't think he's as sharp of a passer as Jayden. As far as getting that going, I do think he can, get some things generated within the run game. But it worries me coming into this game with his passing ability with the Bears secondary, because the Bears secondary, one thing they'll do, they can house you. They can make a house call at any point. All of those guys are balling. Byard, Brisker, those guys are all playing really good football right now. So they're really going to challenge Mariota to make him really throw the ball. And I do think that would be the Bears' game plan if you have Mariota out there. They're going to make Mariota beat him with passing. I think they're going to make a concerted effort to kind of stop the zone reads, the RPO stuff, the run stuff that comes from Mariota. So the thing is, can Mariota go out there and beat these guys strictly like Jayden kind of had to go out there and run the game plan against the Baltimore Ravens? Like, I think that will be the Bears game plan in this game, and that's what worries me. And I'm not confident enough to say right now that without a Jaden Daniels that Mariota can go out there and strictly beat you from the pocket, especially a good Bears defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I don't even want to get into the hypothetical of Marcus Mariota playing because I feel confident in what I'm about to say. Jaden Daniels is not going to miss any game, and he will be the starting quarterback on Sunday. It'd be different if he broke a rib. As of right now, all we truly know is he got a bruised rib, and it's not even like a heavy graded rib injury. Like, I think it's just the fact that you add in how they were able to maneuver during that game against the Panthers. There wasn't necessarily a need to force him into the game after he got, whatever injection he got behind closed doors, whatever the case after the x-rays. By the time they did all those things, it was 28-0 or 28-7. I don't even remember what the score was. But by the time they did all those things, there was no need to bring him back into the game. So I just see Jayden playing this game. I think where it truly is going to be a big test is how they call the game when Jayden is out there on the field on Sunday, as far as still trying to make him a threat with his legs and not leaving him exposed in those situations. But I don't even see it to where Marcus Mariota starts this game on Sunday. I could be wrong, but I feel pretty confident in what I'm saying. That's why I don't even want to think of Marcus Mariota in, in that position.
Well, I guess I'll go. And I think understanding the unknown from our perspective that we just don't know right now. I think that even as a first off, if you're a betting person, I would say that Washington should be you should take the 3 points with Washington, point blank period. Because you're getting them to get them as a 3-point dog at home is one a blessing in itself. But then also, if Jayden does end up playing, guess what? You got the Washington Commanders as a 3-point home dog with Jaden Daniels playing on Sunday. And I would take that 10 times out of 10 too. So from a betting perspective, they're a 3-point underdog right now. Take them. From an actual field perspective and Washington's chances, I think the hard part for people to actually take into account with Marcus Mariota is the fact that, you know, the preconceived notion is that he really just can't hoop. But what also hurts is, like, you've seen Jaden Daniels playing, you know that Mariota isn't the same type of passer as Jaden Daniels. But Mariota's a gamer. And he's in a system that's comfortable for him. And I think that's kind of the thing that will really hurt a lot of people. And I'm not sitting here like proclaiming that Marcus Mariota is like a person you don't have to worry about, like, in practices and things like that. But what I bring that up for is because, like, there's been reporters and people who cover the team on a day in, day out basis who's at practice saying that there's no way that Mariota starts over Jayden when there was a competition during training camp and over the summer and things like that. And I think that's valid, but I also think what hurt Mariota is, like, you don't see him in the game in preseason because he gets hurt on, like, the first drive. So now you keep him out, right? You only had a couple plays of him in preseason. But then there's a narrative that's built online. And I'm not saying that it's not true, but if you only see him in practice and you see him struggle a little bit, you're not going to necessarily know what he looks like during a game time, right? So he comes in against the Carolina Panthers, albeit a defense that's struggling, who has issues on all three levels of the field. But he comes in and still lights him up after a couple plays. Like, that's a little shaky at first. I think for him, it's not the gamer mentality that I'm pointing towards, but what I'm saying is I think he's underestimated by a lot of people, and there's a reason why they didn't move forward with Sam Hartman or Jeff Driscoll as a QB2. Like, there was a conversation that we had on this show where I entertained the thought of Jeff Driscoll making the final 53 as QB3 or making a push for QB2, one or the other, if not both. And there's a reason why that wasn't even an option for the Commanders. I think that, again, this is a system that's comfortable for him because of, one, what Cliff can do in terms of stretching the field, but also widening the field, right? But then also you have Brian Johnson, who came over from Philly, who was one of his previous coaches, direct coaches, because he was the coordinator there. But then also, like, a system just that's just a little bit different in terms of how they run the football and how they manipulate their blockers up front. Mariota, no matter how old he gets, he's going to tote the rock. Like, that's just what he does. Like, one of his first carries, he ran through a cornerback. Now, he only got 5 yards, but he ran through the dude. So I think for Mariota, it's not going to be about his. Now, of course, there's going to be situations where you're going to need him to throw the football and make a good throw and make a good read. But it's not going to be primarily about what he does with his arm. More so, can he lead the offense, and can they have a balanced game against the Chicago Bears on that side of the football? And if you're talking about an offense that's going for 400 yards a game or 400 yards plus against the Chicago Bears with Mariota, I don't think that's going to happen. I do think that you can get 21 plus with Mariota in the way that in the way in which this offense is playing. And that's just not me shooting a guess out there, but I genuinely think the tempo and the way that they're playing on from the running game to the actual pass protection to the actual receivers, I think that there is a way in which you can keep your offense can keep you in the game. You just need your defense to get you a few stops. So I give the chances of Mariota being in and being able to beat Chicago. I don't give it like a significantly high, but I can say out of a scale of 1 to 5 that I give it like a 3.5. Like he's around the corner. Like he's there. That's just kind of how I view it with Mariota.
I mean, I think something to also like key in on when it comes to Mariota, has a lot of NFL starting quarterback experience. He's been in a multitude of systems, but if you really sit back and look at it, this is the closest system to that will replicate what he kind of ran at Oregon, which made him a Heisman Trophy winner. Like, you know, Cliff could get out there and really just spread them out and make it to where he can make quick reads and get the ball out of his hand much quicker, because he's not as much of an anticipatory thrower as Jaden Daniels. But if he spreads guys out, I mean, if you spread out that offense, he can make those reads a bit quicker. Huh?
Why you change your wording up, bro?
Man, I wasn't thinking about no Diddy type of stuff while I was talking, bro. So that's why I was so lost when I'm like, bro, I'm not thinking about none of that.
It was just convenient. That's all, bro.
I was thinking about nothing of that nature.
No, for sure.
But I don't even know what word I use. But yeah. So at the end of the day, you know, if he does have to play, I think Cliff will play to his strengths. And I don't think that Mariota has ever been in an offensive system that has ever played to his strength. You know, when Tennessee took him, they didn't use him for what his strength was from a collegiate standpoint. They just put that man out there and forced him into a system. And that's why it didn't necessarily work out for him. But he's been able to stick around the league. He's been able to play in that system, the Falcons system, the Raiders system. Also with the Eagles, the familiarity with Brian Johnson, you know. So if push come to shove, they will be able to get more out of Mariota than you probably have ever seen him as a NFL quarterback if he has to be the feature guy.
I do agree with you all that Mariota, this is probably the best system for him, you know, as far as like what he's done since college in Oregon. And that's what Cliff is good at. Like, I do think Cliff is good at knowing what his personnel can do and kind of designing a game plan around his personnel. But again, for me, it's just going to come down to, because I feel like the Bears know that. I don't think this is going to be a surprise to the Bears. Now, of course, we are hypothetically speaking, you know, if Mariota is starting, I do think the Bears are going to be prepared for that type of offense for him. Again, can Mariota win from the pocket if the Bears are taking the rest of that stuff away from him? So that's the biggest question for me. I mean, he had a hell of a game again against the Panthers. I mean, he threw the ball pretty well. As AJ mentioned, he's not that great of an anticipatory thrower, you know, but he made plays in the pocket. Like, he was actually kind of looking like Baker Mayfield in the pocket in the game. He was being slippery. He was finding plays after, you know, almost getting sacked. He was maneuvering through the pocket well. Like, Mariota played a damn good game. But now if he's starting this week again, the Bears are going to be pretty prepared for that. And I do think they are going to prepare to take some of those run options away from him. So can you beat him from the secondary? Now, with that said, I want to get to my burning question, if I can. My burning question is something that's been kind of pissing me off this week, because I'm actually, you know, with this jury duty whole deal, I've been listening to a little bit more sports radio during my breaks than I would normally listen to sports radio. So I'm listening to people call in, and this has got kind of more so to do going forward in, you know, the Bears game, if possible, if Jaden Daniels is playing. But a lot of fans are calling in and they're worried, and they're saying that they want to take all of the run action away from Jaden Daniels when he comes back. Like, they do not want any desired run plays for Jaden Daniels when he comes back. And I just think that's preposterous for me. You know what I mean? But I want to get you all's opinion on it. Do you think going forward, I mean, if he's playing in a Bears game, whether he's playing in a Bears game or not, but just going forward with Jaden Daniels playing football, do you take away the run options from Jaden Daniels? You know, because that's one of his biggest damn threats, and it's pissing me off to see people say that you need to.
Yeah, see, that's the Lord. That's a good Lord stopping Dre in his tracks, bro. I swear to God.
And I thought it was something on my end, but just to answer Dre's question, I think a lot of this has to do with PTSD of RG3. And a lot of it is driven by the local media reporters, such as a Chris Russell, for example, those that, may patronize his show. I didn't actually listen to the show to hear it, but I seen a clip that our good friend Linnell Willingham, who works over there with Chris, posted on his Twitter account. And essentially it was alluding to the fact of Chris saying like this would happen with Jaden Daniels because of his frame, his aggressiveness, or whatever. And I just want people to remember, most quarterbacks that get injured in the NFL, they get injured in the pocket. Like, at the end of the day, the reason why these certain quarterbacks are getting drafted as high as they are and the way that the league is maneuvering is because you bring a dual threat to the game. There is no longer the days of Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers. You now have to be able to create outside of the pocket and extend plays. Like, if you can't do that, then there's no point in you being drafted in the NFL. Why do you think certain guys are starting to fall in the draft process? Some guys aren't necessarily getting drafted as high because they're purely a pocket passer. Take Quinn Ewers of Texas. He's there for his 5th year for a reason. He's trying to improve his draft stock, but he can't move in the pocket. He's a statue. And that's why certain teams can beat up on him, like we just seen Georgia do over the weekend. But I feel like you have to use your legs. Like, I'm not concerned about injury. Like, that just comes with the game of football. No one is ever going to be 100%, no matter what. Like I said, more injuries happen to quarterbacks in the pocket. I think that if you're not going to utilize that person's special talent, whether it's a Jayden, Anthony Richardson, a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, then you're wasting your time with even selecting a player of that and putting them in your offensive system scheme. It's just a waste. And I just think people got to get out the fact that injuries will occur. Like, I mean, that's just the nature of the game. That's why it's a 53-man plus roster with a practice squad, because football is a violent sport.
Yeah, I'm in this space, but honestly, AJ said a lot that I agree with. So I'll just add to the fact that at the end of the day, first off, let's kind of paint the picture of Jayden, right? Jayden, and I said this yesterday on the little live stream. I guess I called it a podcast, right? Shout out to everybody who tuned in. Like, Jayden is a competitor, bro. Like, there's going to be no other way that he's kept off the field unless the doctors suggest that he is not fit to play football that particular week. So there's going to be no other, like, if you have a pain tolerance that's good, or that's good enough for you to play that week, Jayden is going to play. If there's no chance of you re-injuring yourself, this is beyond a rib injury. This is like general injuries, because again, like I said, I agree with a lot of AJ said. At this point in the season, I'm sure that Jayden had already took a hit or two before week 7 that had him dinged up for a little bit, and it's not enough to put him on the injury report. And he's still playing through it. And that goes for other players too. For Jayden, if he's not to the point where the doctors say he is not at risk for re-injuring his rib or making his injury worse, he's going to be on the field. But what does that mean for Washington? What does that mean for the scheme moving forward? There is nothing that Cliff will not call if Jayden is not ready for that. And moving forward from a future perspective, he is not going to look at this rib injury, because Jayden is trying. bro, I don't know if anybody is watching this play. The people who were like take it out of the playbook. So I actually seen one person in particular who has a pretty big following. I'm cool with them. Like I respect them.
Say their name. Say their name.
I respect them. So it's like it's not a shot at them, but it's like, bro, you overreacting, and I feel like you're doing this because you're overly sensitive to the idea that this guy Jaden Daniels is the same person that suffered injuries from 12 years ago. So I say that to say, when you look at Jayden, bro, like the guy was trying to score a touchdown, like point blank, period. Like, and if you weren't able to see that in the moment, like he kicked as soon as he cut in, he kicked another gear. Like he was about to try. He thought that he can house it, and you can't take that ability away from him and say, you know what, bro, like I'm your OC, I'm responsible for looking after you, bro. I appreciate what you did, but I don't want you doing that no more. Who is going to do that to Jayden, bro? Nobody's going to do that to him, bro. So like, I just think that people need to have that perspective and understand that there hasn't been many opportunities where even Jayden saw a field situation like that where he can even try and go for a touchdown. He's been very responsible. He's been playing this smart in terms of like protecting himself in some instances. And the one time he gets the open field where he thinks that he can try and beat the defender, he takes off. I don't blame him for anything in what he did against Chicago, against Carolina Panthers. I would do that 10 times out of 10, and I would support him 10 times out of 10 if the result ends up being an injured rib or a healthy play where he gets up and nothing happens. Like, I support it 10 times out of 10, bro. And people need to understand that moving forward. Like, when there's a situation when you have an opportunity to score, and Jaden Daniels has shown on tape and on TV film, TV copy, that he understands when he has to take his shot. Do it, bro. I trust you, bro. Do your thing.
Hey, Mual, and I actually think that the coaches overemphasizing him sliding is what led to the rib injury, because he was trying to house that. But then at some point, as we already seen in college, you know, he's a competitor. Like, he ain't cared nothing about taking the hit sticks from defenders in the middle of the field, outside of the numbers. It didn't matter. Like, he just wants to win that badly. But I think he's still trying to adapt in the NFL perspective. We haven't seen him take any type of those collegiate hits thus far. But I think in that moment, I felt like he was trying to slide. And that's what led to him kind of curling up and balling up in that way and messing up his rib. So it's like, it's just like, man, just go play your ball. You feel me? You can only do but so much. Of course, we want to sit here and say protect yourself. Maybe you don't need to go try to truck stick somebody. That's one way I would say, you know, that's not smart. But anything else, like, you're a super gifted, talented player. Go ahead and do what you need to do when you out there on the field to win us the game and put us in the best position.
And just to finish up my thoughts on this, because I know we're about to go to our ad break, but what also pisses me off about it is it gives people, or it gave some people, the opportunity to kind of shit on Cliff Kingsbury in a sense. Like, why is Cliff Kingsbury calling these plays? Like, you know, he needs to take these plays out of the playbook. And I'm like, no. I mean, any good or even competent OC is going to utilize his quarterback's biggest. Well, in Jaden's case, Jayden has two big weapons. It's his ability to also to beat you from the pocket, and it's also his ability to beat you with his legs. And Cliff is utilizing every bit of Jaden's talents as any great OC would. But it's just annoying that people around here, again, and you all are right. You know, I agree 100% with everything you all said. It's the PTSD from the whole RG3 saga. Like, people are expecting these type of injuries, and I don't even see Jayden as that type of reckless type of runner. You know, I mean, this was just a fluke injury. I thought if Jayden keeps to the outside, I mean, he can beat that defender to the outside with his speed, or at worst, he's probably going out of bounds. But that's something that Jayden is going to figure out, in the long run. I thought when he cut back, it gave the trailing defenders a chance to kind of catch up and kind of make that tackle with a little awkward fall. But either way, I mean, that was a great play call by Cliff. I mean, you know what I mean? And it was a great keeper by Jayden. We had actually talked about this in the weeks prior that Jayden should have kept the ball on some of those other, read option plays. And he probably has big chunks of yards. Jay Gruden said there's going to be a house call pretty soon on one of these keepers. And I thought that was going to be it. So again, any decent or competent OC is going to utilize that weapon, and they're not going to take that out of the playbook. Again, it's football. Injuries happen, and it just so happened that a fluke injury happened to Jayden in this case, but it's nothing serious. Now it's just all about pain tolerance. So no, for me, it pisses me off that people even bring up the notion of taking this stuff out of the playbook, but at the same time, hell no, I would not take this out of the playbook. You keep utilizing that weapon as long as you can.
AJ, you got a burning question?
Yeah, my burning question would be to all of us. Do you feel like the Washington Commanders are one of the top 3 teams within the NFC?
Top 3. Damn. Hold on, bro. Let me look at let me go to Pro Football Reference right quick.
Well, while Maul's doing that, I actually can answer that because, I mean, right now, what are you talking about? The Lions, the Vikings.
Minnesota. Yeah, Vikings.
Yes, those two.
Lions.
49ers don't look
Green
too good
Bay.
this season. Tampa Bay just lost 2 big weapons. I mean, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin just got injured. So that may take them down a notch because Baker.
I mean, shit, Chicago.
But see, Chicago hasn't even. It's funny because, I mean, on paper, they have a decent team.
I'm listening to teams, so not necessarily
right.
they better.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about them too because people are talking about them and having that conversation about Chicago. But Chicago, they have to prove something too, because as much as people are saying the Commanders haven't beaten anyone, Chicago hasn't beaten anyone either. So that's why this test this week is going to be interesting. And I do hope Jayden is able to play up to his ability because
Philly.
What do we think
I only say Philly because Washington's history with Philly, recent history.
Right. And see, a lot of this is going to be determined about when we play these teams. We play Chicago this week, so that's going to kind of give us the measure and stick about where we land with this team. We still got the Eagles twice this year, and these are the teams in that conversation. But as of right now, if you're asking me if Washington's a top 3 team in the NFC, I got the Lions for sure. I think the Lions are the best team right now. I'm still iffy on the Vikings. We're going to see what they do tonight. But right now, I do think Washington, if Jaden Daniels is healthy and the defense continues to kind of get better, gradually better, they don't have to be great or anything. If they're somewhere between that 15 to 20 mark, as we said, I think this is a top 3 NFC team because the offense is great right now. Like, this is a top-tier offense. Like, they are leading the NFL in scoring at this point. So if your defense can give you something like between that 15 to 20 mark, this is a top 3 team in the NFC. Yes.
Top 3.
I thought it froze.
No. I was thinking, bro, because I'm like who? I think if anything, bro, it's Detroit. Then I think it's Green Bay, and then Washington. I like Minnesota, bro. They defense strap, but it's something about them, bro. Like, I don't know if y'all been watching them, but it's something fishy about, like, they've been winning some big games. But I think it's something fishy about, like, their defense and Sam Darnold. I honestly cannot put my finger on the problem and diagnose it with, like, a simple sentence. Can't do it. But, like, I have watched them play at least, like, 3 of their 6 games fully, right? Or a good majority of them. And something throws me off about that team, bro. I think that they're a good team, but I don't think that they're like I don't think that they're a contender. I think there's only one true contender right now that's showing itself, and I think that's the Detroit Lions. I actually have them, and I say this in the pound rankings on the Trapper Dive All 32 side. I have the Minnesota Vikings on the Detroit Lions on the NFC side going to the Super Bowl, along with the Baltimore Ravens on the AFC side. And that's where I am right now. I don't think that there's anybody else that's close to the Detroit Lions. And I respectively mean that with their division, because their division they got some dogs. Everybody in that division is like the AFC North from last year. But yeah, I think they're the top 3, bro. And even with their defense being a huge question mark, I think that this is probably one of those teams where it's like Meaning Washington, if you can get a lead or get multiple leads and find a way to get a turnover or two, I think that you have an opportunity to win football games down the line as well. I don't think that their defense is going to get any better in terms of like a top 15 defense. Like statistically, if you look at their rankings right now, they're top 16, right? But in terms of like DVOA, where like the true metrics kind of place itself for the defense, they're still like bottom third. I don't know the exact number. I think they're like 27th. 26.
The Panthers game inflated a lot of those regular defense stats.
And that's why I wanted to preface that because the defense is still not that good, especially from a DVOA perspective, right? So I would say AJ top 3. I would say in order to make something shake when the games count in January and February, you really got to find a way for Washington. You really got to find a way to get multiple scores up on a opposing team. Because that defense is still going to probably give them problems. And I think I wouldn't count Tampa out. I think that even with the loss of Chris Godwin, matter of fact, he had a dislocation. So I don't think you're out. You're not out for the season with a dislocation, are you? I'm asking.
The way his leg looked.
He's out for the year.
Okay, I was genuinely asking.
But okay. I don't know how long Mike Evans is out. I know they lost him as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure hamstring is one of those. Yeah, hamstring is just going to be lingering for the rest of the time frame, and he a long strider, so it's like, yeah, that'll be hanging around for the remainder of the year.
Yeah, so for Tampa, I don't count them out. Chris Godwin, even with Chris Godwin out, I respect that. So if he's out for the year, cool. That's a big loss. That's a person who really got their third down catches. He moved the chains for him. He was their Pierre Garçon for us back in the day. He's their Pierre. And I think for Tampa though, even still, that was a team who can really make shit shake in the NFC. So I don't know. That was probably the only one. Atlanta. Shout out to what's her name, bro? Sherry. The Carolina. Oh, this is bad.
Sheena
I'm
Quick.
so sorry.
Sheena.
Oh my.
Sheena.
Thank you, bro.
Yes.
Shout out to Sheena. That's sad. Sheena, come back on the show, bro, please. Shout out to Sheena though, because she was spot on. I never forget this point when I brought up Atlanta as a division. I had them winning the division, and she was like, she just gave me a look. And it was like, yeah, okay. And I done seen 7 games. I think they some shit. I think they terrible.
I think. Yeah, just to add on there, I think Michael Penix changes that team. Once again, the day and age of a statue quarterback is over with. Like, respect the Kirk Cousins, everything, but if they could add a dynamic quarterback back there that can also provide a threat of running, it changes everything. But
Penix kind of a statue too, isn't he? After those injuries, he hasn't been the runner that he used to be.
He can run. They just ain't allow him. I mean, he just ran like a 4.5 at the combine.
He did. That was the only thing he did at the combine, I think, too. He was like, I'm gonna just show you I can really run.
Yeah, he can move.
Like 3 ACL surgeries.
Yeah, he's pretty solid at maneuvering the pocket. But I mean, I think the reason why I asked that question is more so because I want our fan base to realize this is a real deal team. Like, this team is going to be in the playoffs. Now, where their particular seed is going to be, don't know. But I think every team in the NFC has flaws. Detroit is amazing offensively, but defensively now, especially losing to Aiden Hutchinson, I mean, what they just gave up 31 to Minnesota. So it's like they got to put up a lot of points in order to continue to be in games, just like how Mual kind of preference, like trying to get up 2 scores, whatever. I mean, Brian Branch is playing out of his mind this year. Wish we would have had him, could have had him twice. Twice could have had him. Jared Goff is doing his thing, but defensively, they're not stopping nobody. Like, defensively, at this rate, they're not going to stop anyone. Maybe they make some changes and add like a pass rusher, like a Zadarius Smith, whatever the case is. But defensively, that is their weakness. You take the Green Bay Packers, I think they're kind of like an inconsistent team. I think with Jordan Love, you don't know what you're getting. At times, he could be amazing some games. Other games, he could look like Eli Manning, just throwing the ball up for grabs. But I think the NFC is wide open. I love how it is, and I love the position that Washington is in. And I do think that they are one of the top three teams in the NFC, they suffer from some type of deficiency like everyone else in the bunch. San Francisco 49ers can't stay healthy. Their defense isn't playing the best. The Eagles, you don't really know what you're going to get from them offensively. Defensively, the same thing. They're 4-2, but they're just a roller coaster ride of a team. And yeah, I just think is wide open overall. But I definitely see Washington as being one of the top three teams in the NFC.
All right, fellas. Let's go ahead and get into our game predictions, scores, MVP, etc. But first, let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy, man. It's currently Boostober on Underdog. Boostober, where there's a promo to play nearly every day. From now until October 27, you can boost your profit on all NBA entries by 20%. They are giving everyone unlimited profit boost to make basketball entries. Underdog is the place to play champions. So sign up and use promo code TrapperDive right now to get your deposit bonus of $1,000 instantly. This season, Underdog is going to be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day. So something like your profit boost, discounts where you can get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at a big dub, or free picks where they're basically giving you a sure thing. A player just has to get higher than the 0.5. Put it this way, like a 0.5 rebound. They used to do that with NFL too, like where I remember I did an Aaron Rodgers one where it's like he just had to have, or CD Lamb for sure, where he just had to have one receiving yard. I'm like, I'm taking that 10 times out of 10. So they give you discounts in that fashion, and also give you free picks, like I said. So make sure you go ahead and tackle that. I tell you all the time about Brian Robinson's over touchdown, John. Last week he came back after missing the week against Baltimore. What did he do? Tutty. He had a tutty, bro. Did he have 2 touchdowns? AJ Dre, he had 2, right? Or he had 1?
I think he just had 1, but he got 6 in the season.
Okay, all right. So he had 1 last week. I'm telling you, man, I'm every single week that B-Rod's playing, I'm gonna go ahead and find a way to put him in an underdog play. So you go ahead and put underdog, or go to Underdog, get the app, find your way to get you a Brian Robinson over 0.5 touchdowns, stamp it. You can highlight your winnings. Tell me that you use the promo code TrapperDive and things like that. So again, make sure you download the app, use promo code TrapperDive, get your bonus cash instantly. Again, TrapperDive, get your promo code, use that and get your bonus cash instantly. So you must be obviously 18 and older and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply, void in Colorado. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, you can call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or 1-800-639-8783, or you can text NEXT STEP to 53342. If you're in New York, call 24/7 call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY, or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. Fellas, let's get into our predictions. Who wants to take the first stab at it? Okay, I see you, Benz. Benz took the first stab at it. He said Commanders got the dub 32-17. All right. Hey, yeah, chat, tell us where you at with your predictions, man. What's up with you, Dre?
Yeah. How we getting 32 points, Benz? Let us know that. I'm wondering, because 32 are awkward score. I love it, but I want to know how you think.
Hey, Mariota, bro.
Oh yeah, man. For me, man. So look, man. Can I give 2 predictions? I want to give a Mariota. If Mariota's playing prediction, if Jayden is playing prediction. Man, but let me just give 1. I'm just gonna assume Jayden's playing. We'll know more tomorrow, or if he practices. But if Jaden Daniels playing, I'm assuming that he can play. He can be Jaden Daniels, because Dan Quinn said in his presser this week that they're not gonna play him unless he can go out there and do the things that Jayden can do. And if Jayden can go out there and do the things that Jayden can do, Washington wins this game. And it's funny because another bet, Mual, I think the under is pretty low for us, for our type of games. Like the games we play, the under is pretty low. So that you maybe want to take the over in this game right now, just to case Jayden plays. So I am going, 38-27. Washington wins this game. Jaden Daniels, if he plays and if he's Jaden Daniels, he will be the MVP of this game.
Yeah, I think I definitely got the Commanders winning. I believe that Jaden Daniels will play. I believe that they will be able to move this ball up and down on the Chicago Bears. Jaquan Brisker will not be playing. Also, their nickel cornerback in Kyler Gordon won't be playing from what I understand. I know for sure on Brisker, think Gordon might be a little bit up in the air, but it's leaning more so to him not playing. Um, I just think that Chicago also will have to rely heavily on their pass game. They don't have much of a run game, unfortunately, even with the addition of the DeAndre Swift. I think that the score ends up being 31-20, Washington. Like I said, if Washington wins any game or plays, if Washington wins any game, I mean, last week was a non. I won't even try to use the word because I'm not gonna say it right now. But last week was different where the MVP wasn't Jaden Daniels because of the injury. But any game that he plays in, majority of the snaps, he's gonna be the MVP. He's the reason why this team is in the contention that they are. He's the reason why to end this month of October, they're already 5-2. This team last year had two wins going into November. So they've already improved, and he's shown to be an MVP candidate for the NFL. Forget the small talk about Rookie of the Year. He's been one of those guys to be in consideration with Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff as far as an MVP candidate.
So Chicago, Grunt mentioned a good point. Chicago is one of the teams who have had one of the higher pressure rates in the NFL. They're top 10 right now, in terms of pressure rate allowed offensively. And then total pressures, they are top 12 in total pressures allowed. And sacks, they are at 20, which is the fifth highest, or actually tied for fourth, honestly. Excuse me, tied for fifth. I read that wrong. So that kind of shows you the difference in terms of like actual pass protection and then quarterback ability to get the ball out of his hands and not contribute to the actual pressure to sack percentage, right? What does that mean? It doesn't necessarily contribute to a win, but what I think is important is first off, how committed will the Chicago Bears be to the run game? And then also when they do draw back, how much better can Caleb be on time and in their rhythm, in the rhythm of their pass scheme to make the throws that he need to make? I'm betting against that. I'm betting on what I understand Caleb to be, and that's not. He's not a sorry quarterback. He makes plays, but what I'm saying is, if you can find a way to get them off schedule or like behind the sticks, I would like our chances better. And if that means finding a way to create a turnover, I like our chances better. So for us, I do think that Jaden Daniels play. I think that Washington wins probably, I would say like 24-20 or 24-21. That's what I see this game being. I don't like that's a low scoring game, but I also think that this is probably one of those ones where it's like, I think it's one of those ones where it's like Washington holds them to 21 points, but they can move the ball in between the 20s, but there's like a couple turnovers here and there that Washington forces and gets them off the field. So that's kind of where I'm at. 24-20, Washington gets the dub. I would say
the under, Mual.
What's the total on the under?
Last time I checked, I could be wrong, but I feel like it was like 45.
40. Oh, damn. Yeah, I'm right on.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm right on the nose. Okay. So I'm on the under then. And then so if that's the case, 24-20 Washington. I think the MVP. I think it's probably going to be Might be Terry, bro. Might be Terry.
Okay. Big
I think
Terry
they're gonna rely. Obviously the offense is gonna have to do a big part, but they're gonna rely on their dogs to win the game against Chicago, bro. And I think Terry gonna show up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get another Terry for the MVP. Okay, we see K Friend in there, says 34-17 Commanders. BC Grunt says great point. If we can stop the run and force them to become one dimensional, we have a good chance. Okay. All right. So we got two predictions in the chat. Benz and K Friend says Commanders get the dub. So it's a clean sweep from everybody. From Dre to AJ, myself, K Friend, and Benz. Okay. All right, fellas, man. We out of here in a good time. You got hey, Trey, you got enough time to make you enough parlay.
Hey, I do. I already got a lot of parlays in though. Man.
Oh, you got plenty. All right, say no more.
Because I got the NBA going tonight too. So I'm on NBA and NFL tonight.
Okay, smart man. I'm about to say I got one parlay going. I got one parlay going with the spreads, and then I got player prop parlays all across the board. So I'm gonna see what I can sneak in right before the NFL game. See what I can sneak in. I only got one going for that one right now. So we're gonna see what's up, bro. Okay, cool. All right, hey, y'all take it easy. AJ, I know you've been on the road this whole show, bro. I hope you make it where you need to be safely, bro.
Driving to West Virginia.
Hell nah. That'd be the last place I'd be. I used to actually live out there. My long-term ex.
I'm about to say, what's her name, bro? Because it's the way the length you've been in this car, bro.
We definitely had a house out there together. Talk about trash. You know what I realized? It might be a little controversial, but if you go to any city and at the fast food restaurants and predominantly the people that are working there, like the McDonald's, Chipotle, are American, you in a trash ass city, dog.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like my Waffle Houses, bro. I've seen majority white people in there, John. Like probably like
that's a Waffle House. Like most Waffle Houses that I've been to have like regular American people working there. But I'm talking about you go to McDonald's, the cashier, the cook, the whoever, the manager is all American people.
Look, our fries hot.
You in a messed up ass city, dog.
It's the food. But you know what, AJ? And out here where I live in Charles County and Waldorf, we only got like one pho place out here. That pho place has no Vietnamese people working there, and I refuse to go there. I'm sorry.
I know it's already. I already can tell you his ass. I know his ass.
Wait, y'all be what y'all be doing when y'all get pho? Like, cause
he said I sound like Trump. Nah, I'm being dead ass. Like, I'm not a Trump supporter at all. But if you see that, you already know you in a bad city, dog. And we lived in Martinsburg, and it was nothing but like. Drug dealers, crackheads, all type of meth users.
Yeah, it's a meth.
I mean, it's solid people, but it's like a weird place, bro.
Martinsburg, I got two uncles. One of my uncles who passed away live out there, and then my uncle, a vet, but he out there now. He got a faith family that's out there. He a Muslim. He stay out there too now. But I say that because like I went out there Martinsburg a lot, bro. I thought Martinsburg was cool.
Nah,
I bet you did. You're not from there, so you got hella love. You see the look in his face. I went to a strip club out there in Martinsburg,
oh,
bro.
No, you went to
the chicks was dancing to "That's Just the Way It Is,"
and they probably was built like iron boards.
Hey, bro, I feel like you know I feel like I know exactly what strip club he went to too, bro. Because it was one when we always came into town, bro. It was a joint like right off the side of the road, bro. Right off the side of the main road, but I don't remember the name of that joint. But I was like, bro, that's the only joint that they got, and I was like, I just know this joint ain't hitting on nothing.
Nah,
bruh,
that's what I
go back to Maryland. Go to Sensationals.
my girl is the one who told me, hey, you and your brother and your cousin should go check it out. Once I knew she recommended it, I was like, this joint ain't about to hit for nothing.
It wasn't no threat to her.
Man, not a damn threat at all.
Hey, Dre funny as hell. She ain't had anything to worry about. Hey, y'all want to see some ass? You know what I'm saying? Go here.
Everybody built like.
You just call me when you on your way back home. Hey, bro. That's funny as hell. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for us. Enjoy y'all weekends. If y'all got parlays in like the fellas, Good luck on your parlays tonight. Good luck on your parlays this weekend. We're gonna tap in with you all on Sunday, 7:30 or whenever the game going to end, bro. Hopefully we got a Jayden versus Caleb matchup. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for us. Y'all be easy, stay safe, all that good stuff. We about here. Peace.